Hey everyone, thanks for joining. This is Austin with Inventory Source and FlexPoint coming at you with another episode of the Modern Merchant Podcast. Today's going to be a great one. We're going to do another episode kind of on an industry roundup of a specific market and niche that we see with a lot of our customers and people out there selling. Really one of the biggest markets out there, and that is furniture and home decor. What we've done is we've actually brought on one of our supplier partners with us, Home Roots. I believe they're actually now our number one subscription and integration with Inventory Source, and we have a whole bunch of sellers selling their products. And I have Gil here. He is the president of operations and logistics over at Home Roots. Hey, Gil, how's it going? Thanks for joining.
Hey, Austin. Thank you for having me here today. I'm really excited to join you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're super pumped about this. Just going to be talking about the industry, getting a lot of insights on what you've seen and your experience, obviously being in that market, and obviously with us in kind of the e-commerce realm. And to get us started, why don't you just give us a quick little overview about you and Home Roots, and then we'll get to some of the topics.
Sure. So about myself, obviously I'm coming more from the technical background and the logistics. I joined Home Roots as part of the vision that Home Roots is to enable access to all the players or any size of a player that wants to basically sell furniture to the consumers and make it affordable for them and make them basically accessible for them to sell those products onto the market without being concerned with all the barriers that this industry has, and just make it easy, give them the experience. And our motto in Home Roots is making the B2B shopping experience as simple and as pleasant it is with the B2C experience. This is really what Home Root is, and this is going great so far.
Excellent. So we were chatting earlier, and I was chatting with my CEO actually as well, just kind of going over, what is something that, some of the stuff, some of the challenges, some of the great things about selling online, specifically selling furniture and home decor. And I have a couple topics up here, and I think you hit the nail on the head about Home Roots being so unique, is making just a better experience with shopping from like a B2B perspective, and it being relatively similar to the B2C side. Obviously, here at Inventory Source and with our new platform FlexPoint, we help automate as much as possible from the B2B perspective. But you guys definitely make it a lot better user experience. Is there anything, more specific on that side, or even maybe on the logistical side of things that kind of sets you guys apart?
Sure. So majority or traditionally, most of the wholesaler of furniture in the industry will try to stay away from the logistical part of this industry, meaning it will be on to the dropshipper to be responsible for coming up with the FedEx or UPS account carrier, or if it's a heavy item that require a truck to collect, a sofa or a dining table or whatever it is, it usually everything falls on the buyer side, on the dropshipper side. And as you start a new business, not to mention that just the beginning of a new business is very overwhelming and very challenging. Now you need to deal with trucks or negotiating with FedEx or UPS, and they don't know you. You don't have any history. It becomes so difficult. So there is a gap between what the wholesaler is willing to do for the buyer, for the customer, for the business customer, versus the business customer really needs. And Home Roots was formed in specifically for that, to bridge that gap. And so we're actually offering our assistance to our customers with all their logistical needs. We make it easier for them, whether items is small and can be parceled, like FedEx or UPS, or whether it needs to be put on a truck, or whether it's even going overseas. That just make it easier. Just buy the items without worrying about how I'm going to move them from point A to point B, or how much it's going to cost me to do so. Having any surprises, you think that the bill is going to come up to a certain dollar amount, and then you end up getting a bill in a different dollar amount. I think those are the challenges that are really overwhelming and really suppressing the customers, the business customers. And we at Home Roots solve those problems for them. Now, in addition to that, what makes us unique is that we're e-commerce. I'm not just saying e-commerce friendly, because every wholesaler would say, yeah, of course we want to sell to e-commerce. But the question is how compatible you are with e-commerce. Are you really working with partners such as inventory source, right, to make the products accessible to the market? Are you really solving those problems? Or your first thing is just let me get into the store, and discounting everybody else. The third thing that I wanna mention is that um, I like to see Home Roots as more of to it's yeah, we're business to business only, but in that essence, we're also to the public. Meaning, if you want to run a business, you want to sell furniture, we're gonna make it an easy experience, easy as possible experience for you to be able to resell furniture, and we treat you with the mutual respect, as opposed to what we've seen when we were on the buying side, when we were trying to sell wholesale products, furniture, is that from my own experience, if you did not represent one of the biggest guys out there, usually you've been discounted. You've been put aside, never got the proper attention, never got the proper support. There were a lot of opening questions that were never answered, and it was really up to you to figure it out. Once we said, okay, we understand that those are challenges. There's many overwhelming aspects of this business, and we just want to solve it, and we want to address everybody with mutual respect they deserve, and really help them. And every company that we help, actually, it's a mutual help. If we help a company, they help us, and vice versa. It's a give and take type of relationship, but together it's all about building the community of customers, that each one has their own dedicated niche of products, and they really excel in selling those products. And as they help, as we help them, they help us back, and we all benefit. And life goes on. Okay, that's that.
Yeah. No, and that's actually a really good point that you bring up there, because we have I know personally I've dealt with retailers out there that are selling furniture. We actually have a couple customers that based here locally, and then obviously some around the States as well, that have brick and mortar stores and are selling, through their retail operations and retail sites, and they're trying to find a way to go online. But those people usually do have that rapport or that relationship with the big box, with the big guys, and it's just easy for them to get access to products. But what's funny is, I feel like in the world of online, you don't have to have this brick and mortar store. You don't have to have this huge, background of selling, furniture, millions and millions of dollars in revenue, throughout the year of selling furniture, to be able to sell those types of products. I mean, in the day now, a lot of these guys that are absolutely crushing it online, they're just great with marketing. They're great with marketing. They understand the tech side of things, and it doesn't matter if they're selling furniture or outdoor gear, right? It's all about the marketing side of things. So it is kind of funny seeing that distinguish between the two different companies, like yourself and maybe some of those other, Ashley Furniture, or maybe some of these other guys that open up dropship. And it's funny because the tech side of things too, like you hinted on, they're still old school, right? They're still EDI. They're still, you have to pay this massive custom dev fee to get integrated and start selling online. And I know you guys made it just super simple for us to integrate to, which for us, I mean, it's like you're speaking our language. This is very easy. We could get it knocked out. And for other devs out there that might not want to use our services, it's not going to be hard to do, right? It's not going to be hard to do. It's not going to be hard to build to your specs. So I think you guys definitely have a massive leg up on that regards. And I know specifically with the whole, new accounts getting started, and not, just being super restricted on, you got to have all this to be able to work with us, is just massive. I mean, that's awesome to hear. And, a lot of e-commerce sellers, I think would highly appreciate that. And that, honestly, I think that segues kind of nicely into the second point that I wanted to talk about too, is, being in the furniture side of things, it used to be all traditional wholesale, right? Brick and mortar stores, going into that in-house, feeling the mattress, feeling the couch, feeling looking at the tables and things like that. And now it's online, and now it's easier with drop shipping, especially with you guys and other suppliers out there. What would be your thoughts on wholesale versus traditional? Or sorry, traditional wholesale versus drop shipping. Is it smart to start with drop shipping first and then get into wholesale? Is it vice versa? What have you seen with a lot of your maybe new accounts or even your seasoned accounts in regards to the two different types of fulfillment?
Sure. So I mean, personally, I recommend, since we're dealing with products, that they're not products that you put in an envelope and you can easily ship
Yeah.
across the nation or outside. Those are usually heavy, more expensive. So what we tend to see, the successful customers, even the one that are coming from inventory source, that and we recommend as well, is start off with dropshipping. Right? Start off with dropshipping because it gives you a wide access to different products you can choose from without worrying too much about holding inventory at this point. And you have no data. You don't know what sells good, what's not for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you start off with dropshipping, you test different products. And then if you are techy enough, or if you're reading your own reports in your own e-commerce systems, and you see what's being ordered more frequently and where those items are being ordered from, then you can start going into the traditional wholesale, or more than wholesale. I won't say traditional, more wholesale play where you actually can stock in the goods and have control over the inventory. Yeah, one of the challenges of drop shipping, there's two challenges. Okay, one, you share the inventory with even your competition, right? So if it's basically first come, first serve. If somebody else beats you to it, give up an order. You can't do anything. But if you know that the product is selling for you quite well, I would recommend stocking those goods, but not just stocking those goods, but try to find a distribution center that is nearby to where your demand is. So let's say, for example, you sold, I don't know, a certain vase. And we at Home Roots, we're shipping this vase from California every time. Okay. Guess what? Most of your customers, for some reason, going into New York. Instead of shipping it coast to coast each time, just ship it, just order in bulk, wholesale. Have a warehouse to team up with in New York area or New Jersey, anywhere in the East Coast, mid northeast. Up with. You bring those things in bulk. Now that at that point in time you have control over the inventory, and in addition, you're going to reduce your cost on transportation because you don't need to ship it coast to coast. So now it's significantly cheaper. And at times you will be saving about $20 to $30 on the shipping alone per order. Offer to majority of your customers or a bulk of them next day delivered. And that a little bit stealing the thunder from how to compete with Amazon or away, but that's actually the way it is. You're looking at your demand, you're looking where the products are, you bring it closer, and there you offer the second day, the next day, even the same day delivery. It depends on your capabilities, and it just gives you a different ability to send to your customer a different shopping experience. Competition not necessarily offering that, and actually, and I can tell you that in this industry specifically, 99% of it don't offer it. Are you offering that? You already got yourself a major advantage over the competition. And the beauty of it, you know that the product is selling well for you. And when you ship it remotely from the other side, from the other coast, it's very minimal. Because going back to the traditional wholesale versus dropshipping and concerning what to start off with, that when you do traditional wholesale without really having any type of you're taking a high risk. You don't know whether it's going to work well or not. You may sit down on the inventory in a warehouse quite some time, and it costs money. And there's no guarantees. Right? You're taking quite a risk, and those items are not cheap. You're not looking at a $5 item or $10 item.
Mm.
Of items, you're going to be sitting there in the warehouse raising dust. But personally, my take and from my own experience is leverage data, see what works well, what's not. If it's one of our items, in the drop shipping, leverage that. You don't take any risk on the inventory. Just put your money into the marketing, put your money into the technology. And then once you get the data, fine. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and that's a really good point that you make, and it's funny because I've said this actually a few times to some customers is, don't blast your website with 30,000, 50,000 products and just think everything's going to work, right? Take 10, take 50, take 100 of those items, take maybe a specific niche, right, or a specific category, and sell that, see what works, right, and toy around with it, and that's what's the best part about, you guys have a really big offering. Pick certain stuff and just see what works, and I know you guys have good margins, so whatever works the best there, go with that and do exactly like you said, right? Then start doing wholesale, because then you'll even start saving a little bit more money getting out of the drop ship model, and then really start to expand and scale your business. Starting with drop shipping and making sure that you have the automation in place is key. And that's definitely a huge thing. Really going off of that, you made a good point too about about competing with Amazon and Wayfair and selling on those marketplaces. There's definitely the kind of the give or take of, what type of experience are you offering with your website, to be able to compete with them, and is it the right thing to sell on those marketplaces as well? I think that there's definitely pros and cons on each side. It's you could get lost in the likes of Wayfair. I know I personally have done that. Moving a bunch of different houses or apartments and things like that, and getting into Wayfair and Amazon and seeing what's cheap, seeing what's available, seeing what's not, just honestly bad products, right? Always looking at product reviews and things like that. That's huge in the furniture industry. So even another tidbit there is trying to get reviews on your website or wherever you're selling, or even on the listings that you're selling on, is another big thing as well. This kind of segues me into another topic that I feel like is just almost so important to talk about. Logistics and shipping challenges is probably number one thing that I think of for furniture. But right now, COVID is just like, it's an interesting market that furniture and home decor is when it comes to COVID challenges, just because people still, it might not be viewed as essential, but people still need furniture. People still need home decor. People are still moving, like people still want to shop these things, especially because they're at home now more so than ever. What's some challenges and issues you guys have been seeing, maybe on your end as well as the retailer's end, with the current times and with COVID and shipping issues and challenges and everything?
Yeah, sure. COVID, I can tell you that COVID-19 definitely did. I mean, put aside the strategy that's going on in the world and everything else, but as far as goes to sales, and specifically into this vertical, COVID have worked quite well, and to our customers during those times, because the demand has spiked up, at least 40 to 60%, sometimes even from one week to another.
Wow.
By far, even on the marketplaces, this is, I think, the second, from the growth or from demand wise, this is the second category of pearl. And I can tell you that the challenges that we faced is that the demand has spiked up so much. Carriers such as FedEx or UPS just had delays in picking up the goods. It was okay. Their demand is like, it's like you're in a Cyber Monday every day and on steroids. It was like crazy. And carriers are not picking up, not catching up with the pace of the amount of orders. Customers up to date with the delays. And I think we, we've seen the same even from the market leaders, again, like Amazon or Wayfair, where even they had to push their prime time delivery to a week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month later. Again, because everybody's relying on the same carriers at the end of the day, move the goods from point A to point B. So besides the delivery challenges, another challenge is the inventory. As a wholesaler, you do inventory planning based on demand, potential growth, and everything else. And out of nowhere, that it's like a Cyber Monday, but not one time a year. It's just every day, and it's like even double or three times of that Cyber Monday. Keep all the inventory available. And I think whoever was the big winner in that case, the wholesaler or the e-commerce companies that actually stocked all the items and bought them in-house. They were able to preserve those items. In case maybe when the rest of the competition is gone, give more wiggle room to make the money that they need to make. And basically come out as a reliable source of products and gain more loyal customers as a result. Challenges that we've seen, at least I've seen from my side of the.
Yeah. Another really thing that's important to talk about on COVID is again, everybody's at home. I mean, I've even been guilty of looking at Wayfair and looking at all this stuff and saying like, man, I've spent so much time at home. Like I'm looking around, like what can I buy now? Like what can I add to my house? And it's a gift and a curse is what I'm trying to get at. Is a lot of these sellers are just seeing an unbelievable amount of sales. We saw this I had an episode with a supplier, one of our supplier partners that's in the firearm and tactical industry. And obviously with everything going on, that's, again, the demand is just skyrocketed. Like you said, every single day is like a Cyber Monday, and it's just absolutely wild. And it's a gift and a curse, because I am seeing, and we are seeing here, a lot of retailers that are killing it with orders and just absolutely struggling trying to get things shipped out and trying to get things to the customer in a timely manner. But the best part about it that really helps is it seems that a lot of consumers are very understanding of the longer logistical and shipping times. Like I know I am. When I go shop somewhere online, I go to somebody's website, say I'm like buying coffee or something, and they say, fulfillment times taking a little bit longer than expected, 2 days, 3 days, a week, 2 weeks. I still kind of understand that, right? We're all kind of going through this together as a country and as a human race. And it's kind of nice because people can get away with the longer logistical times, and then they're just benefiting so much from all these orders coming in and all the revenue coming in. And it's Cyber Monday every day, but when business is good, it's a good problem to have, right? And
yeah, it's a good time. In a way, it's a good time for new customers who wants to get into, regardless of this industry, but any industry, right? And the major challenge of competing with Amazon, let's say, was always on the delivery time, right? They always have this prime time delivery, and you as an e-commerce company, you face challenges, especially as you're relying more on drop shipping. It always has been a challenge, but now that the delivery time has been moved aside as a competitive advantage of Amazon, you seller online, you have a better chance of gaining some momentum, and everybody's playing on the same level field. Whatever they offer, same. You maybe even offer better, but you're not offering any worse right now. Mm-hmm. And I think that really took away one of Amazon's and Wayfair to some extent, one of their competitive advantages. This is a great time to sell online. It's not just now. I don't think it's, if somebody hears us now, I will say it's not, even if you start in a month from now, it's late. the impacts of COVID gonna echo well into 2021. If you you know, just the research that I read yesterday, and again, it's a different vertical, but just to illustrate what it really does to online shopping, there was an uptake of more than 30 something percent in new customers that never bought their groceries online, never buying their groceries online.
Mm-hmm.
Got used to it, and they will get used to do it. They're going to keep on doing it for months. They're not going to go back to 100% just going into a supermarket and buying it. They're, you know, the convenience. And I can tell you the same thing is happening with furniture, with home decor items, with lighting. It's the same issue. You know, once you got used to buying it, you're not going to go back. You know, your mindset has changed. You've been open to a new way of shopping, and it doesn't mean that you're not going to buy from a brick and mortar store. You may go in there, but it's not. If you've been exclusive in just brick and mortar to look at what you want to buy, those days are over. You know, there's no. It's very hard to find a household or an office that for a complete year not buy any piece of furniture or you know, lighting products or decoration products. Within a year and a half, it's going to be almost unlikely to find someone. If you find those products, you got to go online. So I think that it's a great time, even if you haven't started, even if you think that, wow, everybody's already there, everybody's already selling, what do I got to sell? There's enough room for everybody to make money. And if you have a good partner, such as inventory source, really enabling it, the customers to not worrying about the technical details, not worrying about the integration, the operations. And as an online e-commerce, you just focus on the marketing, you focus on, you can crush it. You can make very good money out there. You know, I don't want to say without any efforts. There's always efforts. Nothing is done from sleeping all day. I don't tend to believe those commercials and stuff like that. This is sorry, from my experience, never happened. But you know, you can really crush it. You can really make good money by doing it. And it's not just it's now. Even in a month from now, even 2 months from now, you're going to hear this podcast. Until you get in, you can make money. So don't be shy. There's enough room, and don't be worried about companies such as Amazon and Wayfair. And just to touch upon one more thing about them, about how to compete with them. Thing is, so I'll touch upon Amazon. As obviously with Amazon, I had more personal experience with competing with them versus competing with Wayfair. But what I've seen with Amazon. One of the advantages of Amazon, put aside, we touched upon the logistical thing. The thing is that with Amazon, they rely a lot on third-party sellers. So if you look at yourself, you look at the listing on Amazon. In many cases, when a third-party seller, it's not Amazon themselves, yeah, that's being listed on the listings on an Amazon webpage. Very lacking. Okay, just telling you from our experience working with other retailers or other big box stores, the data that you need in order to make smart buying decisions. Most likely, in the case of Amazon, you will not find it because many Amazon sellers who just either stick around to existing listing, or that they take the bare minimum information that they need in order to create a listing on their own and just sell, that sales will come. So what I'm trying to say that the data that's been offered to the consumer at the end of the day is really lacking, and you have an opportunity on your own website is really to provide that information, provide those details. And here at Home Roots, we really try our best to get in as much as detail, as much as specification as possible on the product. So when you convey it on to your customer, rest assured that one, the conversion rate will go higher. You'll face less returns because customer will say, okay, sorry, I made a mistake. I wasn't aware of this feature, or I wasn't aware of that feature, or that maybe and else. So just put all those things aside. So I think the ability to compete with Amazon is um, having a superior content, being able to combine something that many Amazon sellers don't tend to do that. But even if you sell on Amazon, again, the logistics here is the way. If you test different products and you see what works for you via dropshipping, just as earlier, you can go into the wholesale game and now having those products actually from two different locations. Like, again, imagine a situation that if you buy from Home Roots a product and Home Roots ship it from LA, we're shipping it from LA, and it's that you have many customers that are buying it from the East Coast. Are you ordering that in bulk to one of the East Coast facilities? Now you actually have from locations. You have one which is California, which is us. Plus you have one from the East Coast. You cover almost all the country in about almost 2 days delivery. Almost 90% of the country, 2 days, worst come to worst, 3 days delivery. Offer those things to your customers, and many of the third-party sellers on Amazon, they don't offer those things. They don't tend to do those things. And one of the challenges with Amazon specifically, products that needs to be LTL, meaning needs to be put on a truck, a sofa, a sectional, dining table. Those products are too bulky for FedEx or UPS parcel. And setting those things up on Amazon, going through customer dissatisfaction with the delivery times and everything like that, another advantage that you can set on your own platform, your own store, that the setup for that on Amazon is very, very complex. And I don't think that Amazon or even Wayfair have figured out a good way to do it on their own system yet. And you have a good advantage over there with the amount of service that you can have, the notifications that you can set, just delivering a better customer experience as a whole. And this is so important in not just this industry, but in this industry because of the fact that those are not cheap items. It's not $5 item. You got to make sure that the experience is superb. People will expect that.
And that, real quick on that note that you made earlier on the product listing side of things, we've seen that good titles, good descriptions, attributes, dimensions, right? Weight, length, height. I'm always looking at the height, the depth, the length, because I got to make sure, my end table fits next to my couch or something like that. And if you don't have that information on a website, I mean, and I've seen it, they don't even have it on Amazon on certain occasions. And I'm like, well, what's the point? I mean, there's no need to be selling this product if you're not going to tell me how big it is. And having those actual product images, like good quality, legitimate product images, not, some AliExpress coming out of China product images. It's, that is what sets a standard. And I think having that user experience on a website is really going to set that relationship with the customer and really get that buying trust. Everything has to line up perfectly, and then you got that buying trust, and you're going to have that repeat customer, and then you're going to have that sustainable business, that brand. So That's a good point that you made there. And obviously kind of the last point that I definitely wanted to make too is getting the brick and mortars online. Obviously we help out with that, and you guys help out with that with your data and your logistics. We've seen a lot of brick and mortar stores. They start an online presence and they only do drop shipping off of their online presence. And if you want to do, if you want to come in and buy in the brick and mortar stores, you've built that rapport in the community, then we have that too. I mean, obviously COVID's kind of affecting that, but, I would definitely suggest taking a look at Home Roots if, you are trying to go online, right? I mean, brick and mortars need to go online if they want to survive. That kind of goes off of your other point of, that customer that's now buying groceries from delivery online, right? That was never a thing. And now it is such a huge thing that I know plenty of people are doing. So definitely would say that's kind of my tidbit there as well. And I've talked about this with other supplier partners, but we're coming up actually on our 30 minutes and, coming up towards the end of the podcast. To be honest, Gil, I think we talked about a lot of really good stuff today. I think a lot of people can get out of this podcast episode, whether being a new seller or a seasoned seller and in this crazy times. But I really want to thank you for joining me. I think it was a great conversation, and, definitely looking forward to a lot more partnership opportunities that we're going to be doing with you guys. And thanks a lot. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Austin, for hosting me. I really appreciate our partnership. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Excellent. So, that was our episode today with Gil over at Home Roots. Thanks everybody for joining on the podcast and watching and listening where you're at. Stay tuned for next episodes coming your way.
Thank you.